we're talking about Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, and Robert Downey Jr. returning to play a version of Doctor Doom.
Yeah, well, I was partly correct. I did think that they would bring out Doom really early. So
this is my Twitter was talking about this more than Trump getting shot at.
Well, honestly, yeah. My entire feed was just filled. Everybody talking, like, people that haven't posted about the MCU since like 2019 to 2020, maybe. They were all talking about this. I was like, wow, okay, this is reaching far.
I'm glad they let people record the reactions in Hall H, because that one reaction of that one dude because they were gonna do the face reveal for the actor. Jared Leto. It's all quiet, and then it's Robert Downey Jr. and everyone.
I love how there's 3 different videos of that, at least that I've seen. And they go like they slowly get more correct in what they are. You got like Jared Leto's like the wildly wrong. Then you got the middle ground of Ben Affleck, and then you got like all the press people going RDJ. It's going to be RDJ. Let's be RDJ.
It's funny because if we look at the pattern of news in the last month, even Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige was openly talking about how Robert Downey Jr. was almost Doctor Doom originally. Like, they were kind of laying down the groundworks for this.
I didn't hear that until literally yesterday. So the day after. No.
Yeah,
I never knew that was a thing.
Right, it's so weird. Like, they almost leaned into it on purpose. And you know what? Announcing these 2 films, and as you said when we were talking about the Russo brothers back, they cannot repeat Infinity War Endgame, where it's like, at the end, he wins, and then the next film is like, oh, how did they beat? Like, beat for beat, they cannot do the last 2 Avengers films again, because we know how it goes. So they have to, in a major way, remix everything we know and do it in a different way, which is why you said kind of an origin story. I think you're on point with that one. Like,
yeah, because they do it kind of like how they did it previously. The way it potentially would have went is that Doom technically would win, like technically in both scenarios, until they have that fight with Reed, Molecule Man, and I think both Spider-Men were there watching them basically slug it out until Reed wins, and then they remake the universe. So
obviously we're not going to do that because, or at least not all of them.
What you don't like Molecule Man saving?
I love Molecule Man, but we don't have Molecule Man unless they just bring him in with.
They probably will just bring him in.
I mean,
make Happy Hogan Molecule Man.
Because technically it's kind of easy because there's a Molecule Man in every universe.
I thought he was only the one.
That main one, but there's a copy in each universe, from what I remember.
Oh yeah, because he's a Nexus, isn't he? Yeah, no,
and then they combine all. Yeah, they combine all of them to make him have all that power, and then Doom does his thing.
Now, I want to ask you guys about this one. They announced him the same way they announced that they were using Kang for multiple films, right? This is clearly because Victor Von Doom, Robert Downey Jr. is going to appear in Fantastic Four, right?
Oh, 100%, yeah. There's no way. There's zero chance.
The thing they said when they kicked off the panel talking about the next 2 Avengers films and reveal them, they said, oh, the Fantastic Four are in both of these Avengers films as well. And then you reveal Doomsday. I'm like, come on. Like, it's Robert Downey Jr.
They were obviously connected anyway. Because it's multiversal stuff and Fantastic Four. They were always going to be a major player in these 2 Avengers movies. Whether it's Kang Dynasty or Doomsday. But now it's like, they're going to be. These are going to be major key players. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whether he's in... Because this is the conversation to be had here. Whether he's in Fantastic Four as Victor Von Doom or he's Tony Stark is a question.
Yeah.
Because I know they said Victor Von Doom. I am yet to believe that he actually is Victor Von Doom.
Yeah. Because
do I think he'll go by that name? 100%. Is he going to be Tony Stark? Yes. Is Tony Stark dead naming the guy? 100%. Is that how they win? Absolutely.
do you think they're gonna do something like yeah, obviously a twist of some sort? Yeah.
Because if we're going to take them literally with saying that he's Victor Von Doom, you know, who else can play him but the best actor in the world? Like them going, oh, thanks to the power of the Marvel multi-universe. Obviously, he cocked up saying multiverse,
Right.
but I don't think you get Robert Downey Jr. to be Doom and have him say new mask, same task. Like, what do you mean same task? What do you mean by that? Why did you put the Iron Man glasses on after you said that? Like, if you really want to get into it, I'm pretty certain he's going to be a Tony Stark variant.
I am 100% there with you. The moment I saw that, my mind was racing. I'm like, it's Tony Stark that went in a different way. Yeah.
It's reminiscent to that one What If issue or mini.
Demon in the Armor.
Yeah, that one.
But that's a mind swap story. I know everyone's like clamoring on that right now. That is just a mind. That is.
I know, but they can take inspiration from it. So.
I mean, they can.
What I want to know is like if they do this, is that if this particular Tony or Doom is just gonna erase all the other kings in existence, and so this is mine now.
He's gonna get the last one from the TVA because the last one's gonna be in the Fantastic Four movie, and then you get the post credit is just this Tony Stark snapping his neck away. It's gonna be something like that. Oh, no, I was saying it in the Facebook chat. I genuinely think the best way you take this is you start off redoing Iron Man 1, but he changes his name because the world thinks Tony Stark's dead.
That's legit. That's yesterday in the car while we were talking about this. That's exactly what Shay said as well.
That's kind of interesting. If he does come to like the 616 and he sees that their Tony died a hero and he's like revered as such,
right?
That it affects him to a certain degree.
Because you can take like every single Tony Stark plot beat and quote, and it fits Doctor Doom.
It does. It really does.
And it's like, all these, why does he make Ultron? Well, guess what? The Ultrons were literally Doombots.
A suit around the world.
Like, exactly. Peace in our time, all this. Well, why is peace? He's literally just annexed Latveria. Why he would be Tony Stark and then go to Latveria, I don't know. But then that's how you play up the hero angle, right? You can have it not be in like Iraq or wherever it was in Iron Man 1. You can have it be he's in Latveria during that war, and then he does that, and then he starts saving the people in that country, and then he gets lifted up to the monarch of that, and bang, you literally have your origin story for Doom.
Right.
Like how does he save himself from the shrapnel like in his face because it's not going to hit his heart this time? He learns magic.
That's honestly,
all you've got to do is just a Tony Stark what if.
Maybe that's how you scar him up as well and burn him up to look like Doctor Doom underneath. The accident really just takes a number on him.
Exactly, Like, and that way you can have that. It's Robert Downey Jr. from the start because everyone's going to know anyway at this point, right? You can have his face be shown and then just get him back in the mask straight away.
Yeah.
Especially like if he is using magic, he can just have an illusion to have a non-startup face and then show his real face.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's so easy to make the MCU Tony Stark Doom.
Yeah.
I'm pretty certain that's why they're doing it. I don't see why you get Robert Downey Jr. to play a Romani character in any other case apart from this one. And also, you then have that poetry, like just to paraphrase George Lucas. That poetry, it rhymes. Of the guy who saved everything is the guy that literally, pun intended, dooms everything.
Yeah.
Tony Stark is always going to be a problem in the multiverse, regardless of intentions. That's how I'd take this. If it doesn't go that way, fine. I trust the process, but that's the way I'm pretty certain they're going to go.
Yeah, I could see it. Like, again, we're dealing with what we're calling a safe future with the Russos and how they're doing this. You're not going to try to overcomplicate it because the one thing I've seen that blows my mind is the fact that people, we gave people too much credit. Oh, people are going to understand the multiverse concept. They don't. I literally have people talking to me or being like, wait, hold up. So Tony Stark is back from the dead. He's now Doctor Doom. I'm done with the MCU. I'm like, one, you haven't watched a single project since Endgame, and you've been saying it's all bad. So how are you finally done with it? Two, maybe you should catch up and understand what's going on, right? Like, they got somewhat of an uphill battle with this one. And
it's also hilarious because I've seen people say, I thought Deadpool said the multiverse was done. It's like, guys, come on. He's literally in it.
Yeah.
He's not in 616. Spoilers if you haven't seen the movie, by the way. Right.
Yeah,
He steps foot in that universe for 5 minutes. He stays in his own. Right.
Yeah, it's
which makes sense for why at the start everyone was like, they've got they're directionless. So what they're building towards. It's like, shut up. Just watch. Like, come on.
Watch and be quiet, please, and let this all play out how it's supposed to. Which, again, I get kind of what they're going for here, and I'm excited. And they're going to have, obviously, an uphill battle to convince people that have skipped a lot of projects to catch up. Like, I was waiting for my showing of Deadpool and Wolverine, not the original, and there was a couple right outside, and the guy, he was all decked out in Marvel gear, and he was there with his girlfriend, and she said she hasn't watched anything since the second Spider-Man film, meaning she watched Far From Home and nothing since it. And he was like trying to give her a quick like catch up and trying to explain the TVA. And she was like, wait, what? And like I could see and hear her losing like the connective pieces there. And I know there's a lot of people like that. So they do have an uphill battle to explain Doctor Doom. But again, I'm going to trust the talented writer will be able to do this and convey what it is, because people have missed a lot of projects. And again, if you compare, over 180 million people watched Avengers Endgame to make it one of the biggest films of all time. In comparison, 14 million people in total watched Loki season 1. There is a huge gap, okay? Like, like there is a lot of people that are going to be missing, and I think it shows us that the people that were screaming, make the TV canon. Well, guess what? Only 4 million people watched Daredevil, which is why only 3 people clapped when he showed up in Spider-Man, because nobody knew. Like, okay, like, it's a problem.
I can recall that. Like, only a few people knew who he was and clapped and go, oh,
yep. My Spider-Man showing was sold out. There was literally 6 of us, and 3 of them were me, my dad, and my wife. Otherwise, it was like 3 other people I know that I was there with, and that was it. Like, people just don't know. Like, the TV thing is different. Like, they got a monumental task of this film.
Yeah, because they took a risk. And granted, I think it was a smart risk where we're gonna talk about the multiverse stuff primarily in the TV shows.
Yeah.
And so all the big concepts for this thing are in the TV shows. So watch the TV shows. They're important. Like, you have to make, at the time, you had to make the TV shows mean something.
Uh-huh.
So hence why you had the multiverse stuff. But they neglected that in the movies.
Yeah.
Like, sure, there's been some little bits like, the end of the Marvels. It's just like, hey, multiverse stuff, which you could probably done it better, right? Like, actually, like, why haven't the TVA been in the movies before now? Like, you did Multiverse of Madness. Why didn't you do something there?
Yeah.
There's just little bits and pieces that they could have handled it a bit better, but
yeah, the battles they picked, man.
Yeah, they made some choices.
Yeah,
they definitely made some choices.
And again, I don't blame them. I get it, and like, fine. We're gonna see how this plays out, because they start shooting this. It was Benedict Cumberbatch just said a couple weeks ago in January. So
yeah. Well, it's out in less than 2 years.
Yeah, less than 2 years now. Like a year and 8 months, a year and 6 months, maybe. Yeah. Like, it's wild. Like, it's
Robert Downey Jr. has left and come back before Blade has done.
Oh God, I hate it. I hate it here. What is happening?
Robert Downey Jr. has lived long enough to become the villain and died the hero before Blade.
And he's going to be back as the hero because the colors of Secret Wars are Iron Man colors.
That's true, yeah. People are missing that as well, and I find that really.
That's one of the first things I noticed. I was like, oh, there it is. Yeah, yep. Wild. Just
because you don't bring RDJ back and then not have a good Stark variant in the fight. Because I bet you Hot Toys are begging for a new Iron Man armor.
They haven't produced enough, I tell you.
Oh no.
Yeah.
There's only so many Chrome Silver Centurions you can make, right? Or neon versions of the Mark 85.
Well, there it is, everybody. Our wrap up of all of that. So that has effectively brought us to the end of the show.